Can you guys hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up. Well, it looks like my experiment of scheduling lives has failed miserably. Yeah. So I had it scheduled. It was sitting there. It said waiting for the live stream. But then do I have to activate it on my phone? So I activated. I went live on my phone, and it started a separate live. So I was hoping to schedule so people I wasn't springing it on people so they had some notification. But I think just plan for every Sunday night. Every Sunday night at 5, I'm planning on doing a members only live, and every Sunday night at 6-ish, I'm planning on doing a public live. Because this was annoying, and I don't want to. I already look stupid most of the time, but I don't want to continue to look stupid for this. So, how are you all doing? 5x5, thank you, Klondike. Takes time to learn it all. Yeah. Loud and clear, no visual. PAEMT, can you see me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? 30 miles east of St. Louis. Glad to get in here. Howdy from Houston. Houston, planet Houston. Scotland. Oh my gosh, Scotland. Isn't it like middle of the night there? Scotland. I'm part Scottish. I don't know if you've noticed, but 5x5. Okay, good. JTD in the house. Welcome back, sir. Was it Klondike that was going to bed? I thought Klondike was going to bed. No, that was, who is that? Was that James? JTD? I think, no, JTD's here. I don't know. James Black, hi from Georgia. Extra Adventure in the house, 5'9", good. What do you guys want to talk about? I have a don't follow the military bro vet culture video sitting in the queue for Monday night. Yeah, Canuck went to bed. That's right. Thanks, JTD. Hello from Arizona. One of these compasses would work good as a level for your whiteboard. Yeah, I got a new one, a little pin compass that local prepper sent me. I told him I would wear it, but I can't bring myself to do it, so. Okay, there we go. All right, PA, EMT. Won't be long for me, 8 p.m. here, wake up at 3:20. Klondike, it was you. You worked in the mines, right? Ugh, 3:20. Are you John Wayne? Is this me? Mahoney 5:30 in the house. Field Tech Self-Reliance. He said, welcome to all the 32 percenters. You might be in the wrong chat, sir. Just saying. I'm just kidding. You're welcome to be here. I think 68 percenters, we're working towards the 32%, right? Yeah. Oh, JTD, yeah, you were in the mine, in the oil fields or the mines, yeah. Bunch of blue collar workers, that's cool. I love it. 4 a.m. for my job. Extra Adventure, what is your job? What do you do? Sometimes I wake up at 4 a.m. and I can't go back to sleep, but ugh. Top 70%. Yeah, Herr Buchenmacher. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. That's why there was 2 streams. There was one scheduled. I don't know how to start that, so I started another one and just told those people to come over here. So, Dean Coleman. Dean in the house. He's got a great YouTube channel. Sorry, we aren't all Delta dudes. Yeah, I'm not a Delta dude. Bro, we still need to collab, man. You need to email me so we can do something. We'll do a whole, let's do an hour on Jesus in the Bible. Extra Adventure is literally a blue-collar worker. Yeah, me too. Well, now I'm white-collar, but I came up blue-collar. Yeah. I have to get up early because I wanted to be funny in high school, Mahoney. Self-Reliance, I'm making a video about you. Uh-oh. Oh, crap. Is it good or bad? You want me to respond? You want me to do a response video? What was the pick set you named in the Hurt Feelings report? Sparrows. It's one of the sparrows. Yeah. Is that sparrows? Yeah, sparrow. Yeah, sparrows. I don't know, man. It's one of their basic kits. You'll see it on there. It's like one of the $30 kits or something. Dean Coleman. Okay, no worries, man. I wanted to make sure you hadn't tried to reach out and I missed it. So no worries. I get it. Whenever you're ready. Extra adventure. You're an overly educated blue collar. That's how I was too. Yeah. Stuck around for the pension. Yeah. And with AI coming, blue collar is going to be cool again. So you might, it might be where it's at, you know. All of us white collar workers, we're going to be out of a job soon. Can't seem to get your email from YouTube. Der Buchenmacher. If you click on my info, it should be there. It should be there. I hesitate to, although it's public, right? Should I give out my email? It involves Venn diagrams. Ooh, that's a good take. Field tack, I like that. Like overlap, yeah, two sides of the same coin. That'll be good. Make sure you ping me in that so I can watch it. I work in software. We've got nothing to worry about from AI for a while. Thank you, Brad Wind. Is it hype? The companies that are selling it to us are hyping it, right? That's what's happening. They're trying to build up their stock and they're hoping the tech will catch up in time to make it a reality. Is that what's going on? Like the video and make sure you're still subscribed. Mahoney. Who are you talking to, Mahoney? Me? Cringe? His email is there. Yeah, just click on the more information button, Dean, and you'll see it. Probably Watchman. Wishes I didn't find it. No, you were one of the first ones to reach out, man. It's been good. I will. Okay. Thank you, Field Tech. Robots will take my job eventually, considering we're still in the running on tech from the 80s. Yeah, you'll hit retirement before then. Yeah, probably. I'm in higher ed. I think higher ed is going to look dramatically different in 5 years. All students already cheat with AI. And most professors already use AI for their work. Yeah, I don't think it looks good. There you go, Field Tech, thank you. So Dean, look at Field Tech just gave you, if you look, click on the About tab, yeah. Brad Wynn says, there's always hope for AI, but if you see how bad the screw-ups AI can do, it's laughable. Good, that's encouraging, thank you. Because I was pretty black-pilled recently on AI. We'll all die soon. 2 years is what they're saying, but. Watchmen News, check out the heaters. I still gotta check that out, man. I saw that email. I opened it up. I've been out of office. I've been out all day. Oh, good point. Extra adventure. So the email, Dean, is you can't get it from your phone. I don't think you have to go into the desktop, and then it'll click. If you click About, it'll show it. My wife is teaching at a major state school, and the admin has no idea how to handle AI policy. They don't want to figure it out and give nobody. Yeah. Nobody a path to actual learning anything. Yeah, the rumblings I'm hearing in AI in higher ed are more concerned about budgets, and nobody really seems to even have AI on their radar. I'm telling you, man. Imagine a time and day where every student has access to a personal tutor who knows them better than anybody, how they learn, the way they like to learn, accessible 24/7 for pennies. Yeah. Tom in Scotland, hands-on job fixing machinery. Yeah. Somebody in here needs to be proud of me for finally finishing another paracord belt. So much more useful than a bracelet. A paracord belt? What's that, like 400 feet of paracord? I did dog leashes, and that was like 80 feet. It was crazy. Recommendations for a good double bit axe. I need to fell a tree when... Are you mocking me? Are you mocking me? Double bit axe. You're a jokester. Felling a tree. I think you will need to fell a tree when SHTF happens. Look up, if you're serious about axes, look up Council Tool. Like price for what you get, it's the best. You can get them on Amazon too. 50 feet of paracord for a belt. Dean says, love the chat. General consensus is creating the connection. Yeah, for sure. You know, I went over to, who is it? Overton Windex. I watched I watched his live chat, and it's just him smoking for like 2 hours straight. I didn't get it. I tried to like jump in the chat and nobody picked up on it. I was like, okay. I love you like a curmudgeonly uncle who I never will meet, but watching his YouTube videos from a distance. Oh yeah, he's kind of cool sort of way. Yeah, that's a good one, PNW Dad. Thank you. How close are you, PNW Dad? Where are you at? Hey yo, glad I can catch you live. Oh, little red hen. Yeah, I see you a lot in the comments, madam. Welcome. Hang tools from it easily. Chainsaw's the best axe. I know. Wyoming Homesteader, I wanted to get into chainsaws. It's just that it was $400 or $500 for a good one. And then plus the oil and the learning and I switched to axes because I was kind of lazy and they seemed simpler to me. But yeah, chainsaws are better. Don't forget to hit the like button. Is that for me or for people watching? Don't accidentally hit the money button. Oh no. Time to pick up smoking maybe. Yeah. Jane says, love your advice. Practical for 68%ers. Lived alone off-grid for 5 years. Testing the escape system. Amazing lessons. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. Great live. Everyone has to work out the kinks. Keep it in the fight. Yeah. Yeah. Throwback to your inch bag video, my friend, and I was just watching. Love the content. It's real, no hype, beast, BS. Yeah. The loving you comments reminds me of the old Darkwing Duck cartoon. Oh, that's a classic. Good one. Field Tack starting a podcast, The Uneffed American. I want you on as a guest. I will be on as a guest, sir. I'd love to be on as a guest. I've only been on one other show. I got one other invite. Little Red Hen is telling people to click the like button. Does that help me if people click the like button? Is that what's happening? Yeah, I only see like 3 likes. What's up with that? Wyoming Homesteader says. West Side, got a couple of acres, literally building a chicken coop while I listen. We got to hook up, dude. What would be a 68%er outing? It wouldn't be full kit walking through the woods with nods. What would we do? Chainsaws are a set of liabilities for preppers. Yeah, like a lot of people get hurt. You can even get hurt with axes. People get hurt with axes all the time because, yeah, they can be dangerous. Double bit axes, I heard, are way more dangerous than single bit because people put them in a log and there's still a blade sticking up, you know? First time live for me, PNW prepped father. Well, there's a lot of us up here. We need to have a crew. Maybe we need to do like a PNW meetup. Organizing the garage, checking preps, tools, other things. Yep, me too, bro. I just cleaned the garage. Well, my wife cleaned the garage. She's watching, so she'll probably be like, you didn't do that? We would use our compasses. Well, not me. Hang around the pool with all of our gear, has bottle openers, beers all around. Yeah, we'll come to Scotland. Hey, Tom, find us a castle in Scotland. I need a castle with an island and a moat and spires for like shooting arrows down. Find me one for less than $1 million. Trade paracord bracelets and belts. Yeah. Yeah. Can I bring my camping trailer? My kids painted it camo. Ooh, that's pretty high speed. Snohomish County. SHTF is about managing calories. Chainsaw saves calories over handsaw or axe. That's true. If you got to be good with it, I guess. If you had all the protective equipment and were super careful, like anything else, huh? I'll get on that. Thanks, Tom. Tom's gonna find us a castle. Chainsaws scare the crap out of me. Yeah, I have a friend who is near fearless around them. Yeah. After past fire issues, have you upped your fire preparedness, fire suppression preparations? I'd be lying if I said yes, man. Really, I think I need to do a video on it too. But organizing all my preps, like I said, I have to. That's coming. That's coming, and then I'll be sure and do a video on it when that happens. This is why I like the Appalachian Prepper meetups. Is that a thing? No LARPing needed. Most of us already live in the post-collapse apocalypse. Yeah, it's already like that movie, you know, where everybody's all like. There's a castle for sale in Billings. Ooh, I love Billings, Montana. I love the blue-collar industrial vibe of Billings. My wife was not a fan, but I loved it there. I was stationed in Great Falls, and ironically, every other city in Montana is greater than Great Falls. I like Helena. I love Missoula. I love Billings, um, Kalispell. Yeah. My dad chopped his leg with an adze. Oh, my dad sliced his hand with a chainsaw. Yeah. Brad Wind is in the Appalachians. Why has he not been invited to a prepper meetup? That's why mountain people make moonshine. Hey, Mrs. Whiskey, if you're watching, never mind. I was going to ask you if I can have a shot of bourbon, but former paramedic, NCIS, firefighter, rescue diver. Holy crap. Wait, which one is it? Field Tac, you are a paramedic and NICS firefighter rescue diver, or PAEMT is. I think you're reaching out to him. My family's getting ready to move from Oregon to Montana. Any good suggestions? Yeah. Anywhere west, right? East Montana flattens out and gets super cold, super windy. All of Montana's windy. But anything this side of Great Falls, basically. Helena and Great Falls, like anything west of that area. More trees, more mountains. Butte, Bozeman. Those are good towns too, and those are technically east. Butte and Bozeman are probably as far east as I would go in Montana. After that, it just flattens out and turns into North Dakota. Dude, if you get a wild hair and want to do second communications video, I'll like it twice. I think most people are still unaware of how hard it's going to be to communicate. Yeah, I have a part 2 to that. It's kind of weak though. I want to make it stronger now that people really like the first one. I live in Montana, close to Yellowstone. Man, good for you. Alex says, Brad, come to Manji. Is that Monge? We're everywhere. Just look for a burned out trailer next to an inexplicable new construction McMansion. Drinking Klondike is drinking a glass of old fashioned at the moment. Good. There's no wind like Wyoming wind. Yes. Wyoming is, yeah, I thought Great Falls was bad. Waiting to see if Mrs. Whiskey brings me. Hey, just so you guys know, I just did a live before this and my phone overheated. I took the case off, which should help, but if my phone overheats, it's just gonna shut it off. I have to put it in the freezer and then cancel the live. So if I suddenly shut off, I apologize, but that's what's going on. I'll have to figure out a way to do it on my laptop, not my phone, but. Carol Gold says, hey Carol, what's up? So does anyone else want to brag about the relocation plans but can't because you know OPSEC is important? The only thing I can tell you is that location literally has a 1 mile moat. Holy crap. Is that a river? Looking at Kalispell. Yeah. Do you have crocodiles in the moat? Yeah. What good is a moat without crocodiles? Decade as a paramedic, yep. Reality of comms is it's easier to win a firefight with no training than use comms without practice in an emergency. Yeah, I know comms, I know we're supposed to have comms all the time everywhere, but if you don't have a team to talk to, like people are like, comms are the most important thing. In military units, comms are the most important thing. For us, I mean, I guess like post-hurricane, Helene, comms were important, right? I mean, you have to get information out. But I don't think comms in the same way as like tactical operator fire teams, you know? So, comms are good. Don't get me wrong, comms are good. But I see guys like me in their garage with like Peltors and nobody to talk to. I think that's silly. What watch are you wearing right now? My $35 Casio. Can you guys, you can't see that, huh? Yeah, this is like the AE 110H or something, $35. The reality of calm. Wait, where'd it go? What's going on, man? What watch are you wearing? There we go. Must have Crocs. Not the shoes. I hate Crocs. The shoes. I hate those. Other than connecting with family and emergency services, what's the point? Yeah, kind of. Extra adventure. So when I got on radio, it's just a bunch of fuds like talking about their lawn and their decks. It's really kind of boring. It's not nearly as exciting as you think it's going to be. I thought there'd be preppers like all over the radio. There isn't. There's just rules and fuds who are using the radios as their social network and their telephone. Yeah, 68%. How to let people know you aren't in trouble. So resources, yeah. Yeah, especially, yeah, disasters, comms are important. But really, that's almost like walkie-talkie for local stuff, neighborhood stuff, and then maybe ham for to hit, but repeaters are down, aren't they? Yeah, they're still good. I'm not knocking comms, of course, but hey, Mike, the moat is a river. Too cold for Crocs, though. The water is cold enough. You get hypothermia before you can swim across. That's a great moat. Everybody dies trying to get to you. Yeah. The YL night is just talking about gardens and grandkids. What the YL night? Actually, what is that? Young Living? No, what is that? Modern Refugee was just on. GMRS building quickly. The repeater nets are growing. They are. There are more and more GMRS repeaters seems like every month almost. Good for gathering intel, comms with family, for Tatsi. Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm set up with it, yeah. It's just like in the meantime, there's not a lot of use. You just got to keep up on it, in an emergency. I think it's going to be useful for sure. Not as many FUDs on GMRS as ham. That's true. So GMRS is relatively new. I see a lot of hams crossing over to GMRS, but people who start on GMRS tend to be like outdoorsmen or off-roaders or 4x4, What is it? It's called overlanding now? Just off-roading, but yeah. Ham recruited, young ladies is ham repeater club night. Oh, ham club repeater night. Yeah. You go to a young ladies ham club that exists and they just talk about gardening. Is that what you... Repeaters cannot be relied upon during an emergency. Yeah, because they need power, right? You could get line of sight, so you would have to run an antenna up, like up a, I don't know where it's at. My one long antenna you can kind of unfold and throw into a tree. Yeah. Yes, the FUDs are on there. They communicate well. So my thought is like if my kids had to reach me in an emergency, they could get a FUD on the radio and then they could make the appropriate call, right? So my comms in emergency situation, generator and Starlink. That's good. Don't think we have ham in the UK. FUDs are just like old radio gatekeepers, Tom. That's what we call them here. Fuddy-duddies, FUDs. It's an American term, I guess, but 50-foot antenna on the roof and a roof of full gear. Then the internet showed up and the social aspect of being a hand moved to the internet. Yeah. It does feel like it's a bunch of old timers, old school, like CB, former truckers and that. Prepper's practice network is Amron. What are you talking about? Why don't I know about that? Because I'm not cool. Amron. Sounds like a failed energy company. I have built 3 portable self-powered GMRS repeaters in Apache cases. Well, Field Tech, you are ahead of us, my friend. We'll talk about that if I go on your show. Trail managers, fire service. Good to know who is maintaining area services for Tatsi. Mudslides are local, yeah. YL just means women. I'm probably the youngest on the air. Most are grandmas, yeah. Yeah, you'll notice that too. Lots of older folks, mostly men, mostly older, but there are some females on there too, and Mormons too. Everywhere I've seen, there are Mormon networks, LDS. They usually will have their own repeater too. I do parks on the air. POTA, no rag chew, just practicing operating. Also practice, yeah, like SOTA, summits on the air. I've heard of those quite a bit. That's pretty cool. Where you take a radio up to a mountaintop and try and make contacts. That could be fun. It's like a combination of hiking, backpacking, and radio all in one. And it tests mobile comms too, which is cool. Tech Prepper does a lot of good stuff on that. Like, what do they call it? It's not a ham shack. It's a man radio, like a little backpack with a radio. Sometimes even HT, where they're hitting like other countries from mountaintops, which is cool. Field Tech says, I'm pretty much done with ham. Too many gatekeepers. Yeah. Unfortunately. It is that. We all show up with our baofangs, and they get mad sometimes. Mennonites and conservative older Methodists too, they are frequently radio heads because of missionary culture. Oh, that's a good point. Mennonites and conservative older Methodists. Just Mennonites and Methodists, huh? Yeah, what is it? LDS culture, so Mormon culture. It's built into. I still haven't done a video on this. I need to write that down. But like the LDS preparedness manual, if you guys haven't seen this or read it, I don't even know where I got this copy, but it is super in depth. Talks about food storage and radios and bug out bags and sanitation. Really, really like hundreds of years of good information. Maybe I'll do a whole. I need to do a whole video on that. So that's good. Rag chews get boring. A bunch of old timers talking about their doctor's appointments. Yeah, pretty much. He's like, I got this thing on my foot. It's a bunion. All right, little red hen. See you later. Grew up in Amish communities, and there's a big ham culture there with English neighbors. Really? You're broadcasting mirrored. Have to read. Oh, this? Sorry. I don't know how to not do that. Just read backwards. God. Come on, extra. LDS manual is free online. That's good to know. Cool. Yeah, maybe that's probably where I got it. It wasn't some secret source. I had to go to a secret temple ceremony. I set up my repeaters to hoist just in case into trees. Yeah, hoist your antennas up into trees to get you line of sight. Yeah. Who would force the rules that govern the ham radio on transmitting without the proper license when SHTF? Nobody. Yeah, that's a good point. So you have access and all the equipment, and then if we lose rule of law, like nobody's monitoring the airwaves. Some FCC guy is still in the office, like I'm gonna get you. I am at the age when I discuss my doctor's appointments. Carol, you discuss your doctor's appointments on the radio? Just joining in. Where's your mic? Harder to hear you today. Sorry, Amy. Should I get my mic? Let's see. Okay. Let's try this. My phone is getting hot. Let's test this out. Will that cool it down? Is that better? I'll just hold this puppy. Did I lose my clip? I think I did. All right. Is that better? All right, extra. See you later. Much better. Okay, cool. I just had my little magnet and I lost it. I'll just hold it like a loser. Mrs. Whiskey, if you're watching, come hold this for me. Just hold it right here like this. In an emergency, there's no rules. Yeah, even FCC says that. In a true emergency, they don't really care. I don't know how they define that though. I looked for Brad Wind. You're hiding on the porch. That's funny. Yeah, even the FCC gives allowances for emergencies for ham radio, but I don't know how they define that. I assume it's like, life, limb, or eyesight, like something like that. But FCC, according to Natma Rubicon, doesn't do much enforcement. That's true. Most of the time, it's the FUDs. Like if if you're pissing them off with like regular broadcasts at a certain time or interfering with other transmissions, you get on their nerves. They'll do a fox hunt and they can find you. But FCC has the capability. But what triggers that? It would have to be like a pirate radio station every week at the same time for like an hour. Just the occasional interruptions in broadcast. Unless you're interrupting with emergency or police or anything like that, then you'll get noticed real quick. AM stations and shortwave. Nice thing about ICOM. Yeah, I haven't upgraded to any bigger radio than 70 centimeter and 2 meter. But I've thought about it though. But it's just, man, the radios are so expensive. But they're cool. How many people we got on here? 44? What do you guys want to know? It's a good chance to ask me questions. I did a member chat here earlier, or a member live, and I shared some of my ideas. I'm gonna stop doing that in public though. I'm seeing videos all over of my ideas, and I'm like, all depends on the Amish. Or talking about the Amish. Buchenmacher study for 2 days. Yeah. I talked about this in the private chat too, the members chat. There's an app that you can get on your phone. All I did was study the right question, the right answers. So it brings up all the questions. There's like 400 possible questions, 35 on the test, 15 different chapters or something like that. All I did was put it in right answer mode, and all I did was look at the right answers over and over and over and over. I didn't read the other answers. I did not ring. I didn't read any of the questions. So when I went in to take the test, I sat down. I read zero questions. I just looked at the multiple choice and picked all the answers that I recognized, and I passed. There was probably 7, 8 hours of total time invested. Yeah, because the test doesn't teach you how to use radio. That's my thing. Like, FUDs are super upset when I give that advice. They're like, you can't do that. But you don't learn radio until you use the radio, and then you can't use the radio until you pass the test. So it's a dumb setup. I don't like it. HF. Yeah, Zegu G90. I've seen those. I've seen those. Yeah, those are pretty cool. Carfax is interesting. Emergency car kit. I'll probably do an emergency car kit for winter for sure, because I have a lot of people to keep warm, and winter scares me, even though I love it. Yeah, this is that new Carfax. I haven't opened this yet, so I'm going to open this next to my crappy Amazon one that I built 2 years ago, and I'm going to compare the two. Someone in the members chat suggested that I do a comparison. Like, there aren't really any. Everybody tells you you'll die without a cat tourniquet. Maybe PAEMT can, like, the Amazon one will kill you, but a cat one will save your life. I want to test that. Like, I wonder if that's true. I've heard of them breaking, but I don't know. I am assuming that kit is much better than mine. So we're gonna open them up and crack them open together and watch it. So. Um, Herr Buchenmacher says, your approach to the T Street is how I did it. I studied ham radio prep. Yeah, maybe is that the one? Ham radio prep. Maybe that's it. 3 weeks, passed the tech, general, and extra in 30 minutes. Then I got a radio and learned how to use it. Exactly. Exactly. That's how to do it. Test questions are online. Yeah, the questions in the apps have the questions. So the questions are not secret. It's just there's 400 possible, right? So you have to study it enough. But like I said, I just focused on the right answers. And then when I took the test, I recognized enough right answers that I was good to go. You can use a radio with a licensed user in the room with you. Oh, that's cool. Hurricane Katrina, people were broadcasting for help. Yeah, I developed pods to LA after Katrina. We were on ham for comms for FEMA. Much like a radio, IFAC is as good as your skills. Frustrating how many guys schlep on an IFAC with no first aid, CPR, AED, and stop the bleed training. Yeah. So poor kit and no training, that's a bad idea, right? You know your windshield washer fluid is good till -20, some such. They mean it. It will freeze your windshield at -21. Carol says windshield wiper fluid is good to -20, so at -21 it freezes. Jeff Twilley asks, how long would it take me to get home if I didn't have a bike? It's about 6 hours. And that's kind of hoofing it. No real brakes. Lots of Motrin. Yeah, it's about 6 hours. What are your thoughts on carrying an extra mag or two in your get home bag or a box of ammo? Uh, for my scenario, like, my get home path is off the streets for the most part. And I don't know, extra mags I think is a good idea. But like I said, most gunfights are single digits, so extra box of ammo. It's like, emergency kit has diapers, wipes, snacks, some kind of game. Yeah, exactly. That's an everyday kit. Just went with the GMRS license. Some cheap Amazon tourniquets are junk and others are just fine. If you get the ones with a thin, flimsy spindle, it's junk. Some of the spindles are just as good as the. That was my thought too. Like, people keep saying that it's the windlass, right? Is that the bar, the stick in it, the bar, and they're plastic, and I guess the cat ones are metal. But can't the Chinese just make a metal one? Like, twisting a piece of metal
won't. There's no way you're gonna break that. I don't know. That's just the thought. I think China can make a good tourniquet for $15. I think they could. Stitching on the windlass breaking, okay. On the generic tourniquets, $25 for $40 for a real cat is all I buy, and I'm a thrift store cheapskate. So that's PAEMT. I'm gonna trust you, dude. I'm gonna trust you. Alex says if you plan on having multiple shootouts on your get home bag, on your get home path, choose a new path. Yeah. Carol says that's the way to do it. Spindle. Watchman News says yes, it's called a spindle. The Chinese do sell some that have an aluminum windlass. Okay. A dope IFAC means nothing if you don't practice with proper application. Yeah, really. I bought metal ones from Amazon. Extra Adventure says, I thought you were going to bed, Extra. You know what I did think, though? I remember back in the military, we went through SABC or self aid buddy care, and we did not have tourniquets. They taught us to use scarves. They taught us to use belts, like a belt. They taught us to use not paracord because it was too tight, but it was all kinds of whatever you had around you, expedient tourniquet. I know it's not ideal. Yeah, I don't know. I'll take your advice, PAEMT. I mean, I got the real thing over here, but ooh, Philtax says I took my Cat TQ, removed the plastic windlass, the rod, and replaced it with a stainless steel. Yeah, it seems like someone can come up with a metal and seatbelt material TQ for less than $50. I don't know. Yeah, GMRS license, $35, covers your household for 10 years, no test required, and you can still use repeaters. Yeah. Every medical is high quality except pressure bandages. I buy all these Israelis for super cheap. Why buy life saving things that might fail? My family is worth a couple extra dollars. Yeah, that's what I hear about medical, right? Care under fire, got to make things happen. Soft T has a metal windlass, also made in the USA. Does made in the USA make a difference? I don't know, man. It's like Chinese parts and then they're assembled in the US. You have to remember defense IFACs are designed for trauma surgeons, field medics, ex-field baked in. Civilian IFAC training should run on the assumption that we don't have $50 billion logistics chain. Chris says the problem with the cheap ones is that you won't figure out if it's good or bad until it's life or death. That's a fair point, right? That's a fair point. It's like buying crappy ammo. Like, oh, it'll probably work. Like when you need it to work is when it has to work, right? Yeah, during GWAT, we learned the importance of a TQ. Yeah, in Iraq and Afghanistan, the beginnings, we didn't have cat T's. We were taught to use belts or bootlaces. Yeah, right. If you want to know if a TQ is good, hand your practice one to a kid. If anyone can break it, it's 9-year-olds. That's a good point. Made in the USA is usually a Dodge now. There was a great video by Smarter Every Day on this if you're interested. Solitaire Ranch. Hey, Mike. Dawn at Refuge here. Hey, Dawn. Yes, made in the USA matters. Dawn's in the chat. She's like, you better, you son of a mother. Yeah. It matters a lot. Dawn is the sales manager for Refuge, and she was really great. I'm going to talk about this in my video, but she was one of the ones who reached out to me like face to face or at least over Zoom. I get a lot of emails from companies and they're just like, hey, we love your videos about stuff and things. And Dawn watched my stuff and reached out personally. So it was great. So I'll give you a shout out, Dawn. Don't worry. And I'm quite sure that your kit is going to be better than my Amazon kit. Just laying that out there. I haven't opened my kit for like 2 years and I'm not going to until I do it. I'm going to do it on camera for the video. So made in the USA doesn't always equal quality, just as Chinese made aren't always junk. Yeah, I think the problem in China too is like there's no QC. You just don't know what you're getting, right? Um, They say something is one thing. Even some of like the metals on knives, it'll say titanium, and it might just say that. Like there's no law or retribution for labeling your stuff something that it's not. So that's always a Chinese metals are prone to breakdown or low standards. I have noticed that with rifle accessories like torque screws, the metal, like you go to torque them down and they strip out. So yeah, I can testify to that. Like cheap metal is a thing, right? It looks the same, it acts the same, but it's not quite the same. North American Rescues, where Bear buys all their stuff. Yeah, heard really good things about them. So, any prepping tips for the big city dwellers? There are no woods for me to bug out to. Watch my videos, Nisi. Don't bug out to the woods. Big city. Everybody's gonna say, "Get out of the city." Uh, Outskirts, maybe outskirts. Somebody local, suburbs, outskirts. Find somebody that lives close to you. Get some friends that you can join up with, right? Like we talk about prepper communities in after we bug out. What I don't see a lot of people talking about, this is an idea now, somebody's going to steal this, but prepper, like a prepper group in the city, right? So when SHTF happens, or you have to get home, like, do you have contacts? Do you have that stuff in the city, right? Carol's in the Nisi, Malone, Hay, Carol's in the Chicago area too. I got a good friend in Chicago. Nisi, I would say do what you can where you're at. Start small. Plan to evacuate. Plan to bug in until you have to evacuate, and then you have to have somewhere to go. So that's the key, right? Find people, resources that are close enough for you to make it to without you having to, walk to another state, which is not very realistic. But big city dwellers need to move. I told you, get out of the city. The cities will burn. I mean, there's just a lot of people there, right? Long term, what's in my hand? That's my Mrs. Whiskey is asking me, what's in my hand? What is it? It's a microphone. What does it look like? You thought it was like a giant pill or something? What's wrong with you? Um, Classes from Refuge are the best trauma. Yeah, it was a really good class. You're gonna pay someone for someone to relocate, otherwise that's not helpful. Carol says that. Yeah, yeah, right. Just get out of the city. I don't know. Cities have hospitals. Get resource priority. Get out of the city means leave your neighbors, network support, resources. Most folks can't survive in the woods. Yeah, I would. There's a lot of resources in the city, right? I've talked about this in a couple of videos. I'm going to do more videos on it, but for in the city, PNW Prepped Father says storage lockers and do an area study, know where things are, the resources. Yeah. So Nisi, knowing where everything is, knowing where you can go, where you can get water, where you can get food. You just have to have that same mindset, but in the city, right? Maybe not the downtown streets. Like I imagine there's certain areas of Chicago that are a terrible idea all of the time. Don't go to those areas, but figure out where the areas are that don't get as much attention, right? Stay off major highways. Yeah. Alternate routes in and out of the city. My buddy lives closer to downtown Birmingham while I'm in the suburbs in a very defensible neighborhood. We are building up extra supplies at our house for his family. Yeah. Bicycle inner tubes make good improvised TQs. That's a great tip. Jason Meyer says, "Hey, Mike, sorry I'm late to the party. I hope you and the fam are doing well. Getting ready to have the best Labor Day event on the planet." Yeah. Actually, with the eastern border of Chicago being the western border of Indiana, you can walk to another state quite easily. Fair enough. Fair enough. Route planning and alternates are way more important for Totsi than how can I get to Kansas on foot. Did she think the microphone was a doobie? Maybe. Yeah, like, what are you thinking, woman? What am I at here, you guys? What time? How do I find time on this thing? I don't know. 45 minutes? Mosquitoes. I put fly paper everywhere and it's not catching any flies. It's infuriating. I support the theory of staying home, bugging in where you have all your supplies. Now there's mosquitoes out here. Come on, you mother. I got all my crap up. I can't get to them. Rather than bugging out with predator types, yeah. Small your storage unit stocked with necessities, maybe on the outskirts of the city. That's a good idea. Yeah. Oh, you dropped. Okay, good. Smell of mosquito death. Headed out on a structure fire. Go do your thing, PM, PAEMT. The problem for city is resources, just in time logistics. Yeah. So I think there's an amount of time to stay in the city, right? Like 6 months into SHTF, the city will be, like people say, it'll be a nightmare. It'll be on fire. Yeah. Yeah. 2 days, 3 days. Plan to bug in until you have to bug out. When do you have to bug out? The veneer is thin. No power, no water, no food. Like store shelves empty, no power, no water for 3 days, 4 days in the city. People are going to start getting antsy for sure. Flexible moral compass may be needed. Thank you, PNW Prepped Father. Nobody ever talks about that. For those in the city, a flexible moral compass may be needed. Build a scavenger bag, entry kit. Again, know the places others won't think of for resources, food, water at the auto parts store. Yes. Thank you, sir. We should do a thing. We should do a thing. Knowing where the resources are, having the tools and skills and access to those resources is super important. Think about your place of work. Think about where your friends live, where your friends work, having access to those resources. Your church could be a resource. Where are those people? Where are those resources? Do you map out where the food distribution center for restaurants are? People aren't going there first. Dude, PNW Prepped Father, you and I need to hook up. Yes. Knowing your area inside and out is more important than anything. Yep. Just a blackout seems possible. I can't imagine having a generator outside that someone won't steal. Yeah. Nisi says, I think other people are the biggest obstacle. So, Nisi, again, another thing I would say is you need to leave before everybody. You need to be 2 steps ahead of the mob, because if the mob is dangerous where you're at, then you need to be first. You don't need to be smarter. You don't need to be stronger. You just need to be first, right? You need to get out first. So your trigger should come sooner than everybody else's. When everybody else knows that it's time to leave, Nisi should already be 10 miles outside of town. Initial panic. Yeah, in Houston, Dean talks about that. Hundreds of thousands competing for resources. Yes, right? So you probably need to be leaving town when everybody is thinking, huh, are things getting weird? Is this weird? Is this strange? Nisi's gone already, right? That's what needs to happen. Yeah, blackouts, especially in the city. It's a day or two later when the gas runs low and you have to worry about thieves. Yep. Field Tack says, Mike Tango Whiskey, I know you're primarily a Tatsi prepper, but how are you prepped if an East Palestine type event happen? Red Dawn, I'm ready for Red Dawn, brother. My channel's focused on Tatsi, not SHTF, but I came up as an SHTF prepper. I don't think it's most likely, but I'm also prepared for that. Yeah, it's both. I think it's 80-20, 80% Tatsi, 20% SHTF. Hey, Dean, you got a friend in Houston there. Tink the Hustler. I don't know about that name, though. Tink the Hustler? What? That's a great name. Chris. Chris popped in and he thought this was a button compass. How dare you? How you know me better than that, Chris. Come on. East Palestine was the train derail with the chem spill. Yeah. What a mess. That's legit Red Dawn. Like the first 5 minutes of Red Dawn, that's what that was, right? Do an area study of the city you live in. Take a day, drive around, write addresses and notes, have a notebook, have an actual map, know the surrounding area and alternate routes. I'll give you an example. So where I work, I know where all of the snack bars are, like the snack bars. And I currently have legitimate access to those resources, right? I know where all of the water coolers are. Like that's water and food. Like in a pinch, you could get some food, you could get some water, right? Know where your maintenance shop is, know where all those tools are, knowing where those things are is important. Is important. As a prepper, I walk around thinking about resources all the time. I'm like leftovers, snacks, water cooler, shovel over there. Where's the key to that forklift at? You know, that's the kind of stuff that I'm thinking about. But I love Totsi and much more describes what I'm concerned about. Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad that I gave it some people. I gave people a word to work with, right? Because I felt like there was a gap there. Area study. So Chris says area study is hugely important. He's done a lot of great work with their kind of collapse preparedness on area study. Lots of great videos on that too. Urban prep is knowing how not to take the tunnel if it's blocked, which areas don't flood. Yeah, where protests won't happen. Learn how to get out in 45 minutes without highways. That's great advice. Yeah. Um, I've said that before about protests. Like protests are advertised. You know you know what street it's going to happen on. And 6 blocks away, there are no protests, right? Don't go to that place. Don't go to that place. Hey, what's happening down here? Let's go check it out. But nope, I'm going in the opposite direction. In fact, I'm taking some sick time that afternoon and I'll be gone before that protest ever happens. And protests always happen at night, usually on the weekends. Pedestrian tunnels. Carol says there's pedestrian tunnels around streets around Chicago. That's good intel, right? Use them to avoid street level problems. Yeah. Lost power for 3 days. Generator was great, but I looked around at night and went, oof, 3/4 of my neighbors don't have power. My family is now a huge target. Yeah. Giant like generator in the driveway. Yeah. Tati's a brilliant way to get people away from doomsday prepping. No offense, Chris. In doomsday, I plan to go outside, breathe deep, see a big flash on the horizon. Like in the movies, just kind of be like, oh, let me have it. Does anyone keep a secret bag at their employer site? No. Finding a good hiding spot, pack it and leave it. Yep. Be willing to have it lost forever if it's found. Yep. Balanced decision to prep that. Avoid stupid people doing stupid things in stupid places at stupid times. Yes. Thank you, Accidental Extra. A lot of it's situational awareness, right? Paying attention, having good information, and deciding to do the thing before everybody else does. It's just, you've got 80% of the crowd beat if you can do that. Wyoming homesteader, our closest neighbor's 27 miles away. Well, congratulations, sir. Runoff to fill the bladders. Rain runoff to fill bladders. Yep. Carol lived in the area. Skokie, it can be done. No offense taken. When Tati prepping is a great way to get people started. Yep. Eventually expand into doomsday. Yeah. I watched your video too, Chris, and it was a great video. And I think 68%ers are, like I said before, I don't think we're here by choice. I think we're here by circumstance. But my goal is to be a 32%er or a 15, way at the end of the bell curve with a place and a castle and a retreat and a group. And that'd be ideal. Field Tech says hello, Chris. Downtown Loop takes a long time. Left of Bang. Oh, why have I heard that before? A friend of mine told me about that. Water bladders. They come in 25 to 1,000 gallon capacities. Rain runoff to a water bladder under your porch. I love that. Under the deck. Tatsi to me is the normal scenarios that you can actually plan for. Job loss, power outage. Yeah. I have a big unexpected bill. Generator depends on the location. I think 90% of the houses in my area have one. Yeah. I heard some states are better for prepping too. I heard Arkansas, 50% of the population in Arkansas consider themselves preppers. That's crazy to me. I know. Chris, me too. Like how to tag someone in the thing. I haven't figured that out either. Whatever. Might as well listen for my hour drive. Biggest thing a prepper is likely to run into is a layoff. Yeah. First thing to plan for. Yeah. Yeah. Losing your job. That's scary as crap. Water to your community if there's a live stream. Wednesday, start typing at the beginning of the post and then start typing their name. It'll pop up. It'll appear. Carol's teaching us, old timers. Let's see. Hey, look at that. Boom. Thank you, Carol. I'm going to look cooler now. Appreciate that. Chat rate 8. Doesn't work on many mobile apps, though. Oh, if your phone doesn't always work. Yep. Oh, man. It's hot in here. It's going to be like 100 degrees for the next 3 days. Hate the heat. Can't wait for fall. I want to bring out my sweater vests. Oh, and my beanie, my beloved beanie. So when I do lives out here for an hour in the garage in the winter, you guys are going to see me like all bundled up and breathing cold air. What are we approaching? 56 minutes? Okay. I'm going to shut it down here pretty quick, people. I know my wife's like, what are you doing? Where are you at? I appreciate you all chiming in. So again, I'm probably not going to schedule lives because I had to do a separate one to start, and I felt stupid, so I'm not going to do that. I am going to do a members private chat Sundays at 5 and then do the public chat at 6. I think is what I'm going to do. I'm going to shoot for 45 minutes because an hour is like 2 hours is a lot. So an hour and a half is what I'm going to shoot for. Tink, thank you. I appreciate that. Love this channel. Thank you very much, sir. Buddy heaters. Yeah, I saw one at the thrift store and I didn't pick it up. Angry. But I appreciate you all. You know, I love you guys like, what do I love you like? I love you guys. I'm sure you have suggestions. What do I love you like? I love you like a platonic bunkmate from basic training. No, that's not relatable, is it? Whatever. Like a distant relative. I need to come up with a whole list of these so I can just read them. The in-law. Thank you, Wyoming. Yeah, I love you guys like the in-laws, like we're family, but that never come to visit. Yeah. All right, JT. See you later, man. Like I said, I'm an idiot. Very same post. You said it didn't work. Boot camp buddy. Yeah. Have a great weekend. I love you like a camp buddy from summer camp who I never pen palled ever. Like the guy I know from every day at the gas station. Yeah, happy Labor Day to everybody. Hope you have a good one. Spend it with family. Don't spend it on YouTube. I love you like the HR lady who never asks why you need PTO. That's a good one. That's a good one. All right, everybody. How do I turn it off now? Watch, I'm not going to be able to turn it off. I'm going to look stupid here. All right, have a safe weekend. I appreciate you all. Be on the lookout for a few videos this week. I'm scheduling them out. I have one coming out Monday night on stop copying the military. I'll probably do that medical kit video, and then also a couple more things are coming in from Amazon, and I'm supposed to be getting a generator from somebody, so I might do a shill spill video. And yeah, probably 3 videos this week, and then the regular setups on the weekend. So that's going to be the pace I'm shooting for. 3 in the week, 3 during the week, and then Saturday is going to be Hurt Feelings Report, and then Sunday are going to be the lives. So, yep. Love you like that one guy I avoid at the Walmart who was always asking me questions like I work there. Thank you, Brad. Yeah, I'm going to steal all of these and claim them as my own. So I love you like a rented mule that bucks you off your ride. We can't relate to that, Field Tech. None of us have mules, but I appreciate you all. And again, so this is Mike Tango Whiskey, and I'm all clear. Now I'm going to look dumb because I can't stop it.